Hey guys, it's Chris, and I got an additional lesson for you, and this is in regards to the trem picking lesson that I did last week. So with trem picking, we went over the ability to move fast on our strings and be able to alternate the picking motions while keeping a stiff wrist and a lucid elbow. So and that's the goal of this lesson now, is to get you into being able to move around the different strings. So we're going to want you to be able to test moving around the different strings and moving up and down the neck. So I'm going to actually give you some patterns that will allow you to move around the neck and move around the strings so that you can start practicing that for yourself and expanding the idea of tremolo picking. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to switch over to my clean channel real quick so I'm not blowing your ears off here. And with the clean channel, I just want to teach you a simple pattern that is going to start down here on our high E, and it's going to start with our first fret. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a pattern and go 1, 3, 5. Okay, so I want to go and then come back. So and then move up, and then we're going to go 3, 5, 7, and then we're going to go up again, and we're going to go 5, 7, 8. Okay, play it up and down, and then we're going to go 7, 8, 10, and then we're going to slide up to 10, 10, 11, 12, and then we're going to go to 12, 13, and 15. So how that should play is it should be something like that, okay? So again, you want to be able to go back and forth. And at that point, you want to be able to add some distortion to it and get cleaner and get faster. So you'll add some distortion to it. That was a little sloppy too, but that's okay. So with this particular part, it's a nice little lick that's going to give you an idea of how to incorporate your trem picking, so your faster picking motions, and then be able to move it up the neck in a pattern. Now the pattern I'm using is the C major. I'm just using the C major scale, and I'm going through 5 or 6 of the 7 different patterns. I know I haven't gone over that with you yet. If you already know what that is, that's awesome. If you don't, I will be going over the major scale in future lessons. But for now, I'm just telling you what notes you can hit on the high E string here. That way you can run through a little bit of a pattern, and then you can learn how to do it with the trem picking. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get that down. Again, you do this nice and slow. So don't even start with the trem picking. Just start with regular picking. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And I'll switch it to this channel here. Okay, and then just keep running through it. And just keep doing that until it gets flowy and it feels good and you're going, okay, this is easy, I can do this. Then what you should do is start practicing it forwards and backwards. Oh, sorry. And then from there, you'll want to practice it forwards and backwards with your alternate picking. And then from there, once you get faster and faster, you'll want to add distortion to it. That way it's cleaner and it sounds good when you're doing it with the distortion on. So. Missed it at the end, but you get the idea. Basically, that's what you want to do. You want to get faster and you want to get cleaner at this. Apparently, I can't even do what I'm telling you to do exactly, but you want to be able to do it as consistently as possible. And that's the point of this. You practice that particular lick. So, for this particular video, I want you to get used to moving up the neck and trying that little bit right there. So you should be able to move up those different little patterns and get all the way up to using your trem picking. So again, when you're doing the trem picking, the point here is to keep your elbow locked. Here, I'll switch to a less aggressive. Game. So you just want to keep that elbow locked. So again. And that's all you're doing right there. You're moving that elbow, but you're keeping that wrist locked. So. And that's all you want to do. Start slow, start without distortion, do it all with down picking, that way you can get used to the pattern that I set before you, and then get used to going back and forth with it. And then after you get used to going back and forth with it, do it with alternate picking, get into that alternate picking. Once you're comfortable with it, add distortion, do it cleanly with distortion. So that's a nice little run that will give you a good idea how you can run up and down the neck a little bit, and also try it backwards too, try and go backwards with it. And see if you can do it backwards. So that would be another good one for you to do. Try and do it backwards as well. So you should be able to go forwards. So I want you to be able to go forwards and backwards with that. Go ahead and try that out. Take as long as you need. This is not an easy lesson. This is a pretty aggressive lesson, and the reason I chose this is because we've been doing so much theory lately. I thought it would be cool to just teach you a little bit of a technique that's a lot of fun to learn on the guitar. And you'll use it a lot too. So for this particular lesson, now that you understand trem picking, try and put it together into a pattern. And try and run that pattern forwards and backwards, and then come back to me for next week, and we'll do another lesson that will get you moving down the strings and up the strings. So if you have any questions, as always, go ahead and let me know. I'm always here. Take care, and thanks for watching.